Man, I love summer. The sun is shining, the fish are breeding, and we're having another 25% off all fish on our website for 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you how you can get that, but first, let me show you some new stuff going on in the fish room. We've got a lot of new species, a lot of fish are breeding, and I'm just having a really good time. By the way, this is really cool. So I guess we'll start out here. This is a 300-gallon Rubbermaid pond my little sister gave me. She raised all of her baby chickens in here, and then she didn't really have a need for it. I filled it up right away, and I threw a bunch of different fish in here, and they've been breeding. Nothing special. I've got some driftwood that I've just been soaking in there for other projects. I got a ton of Java fern. If you look here, like, just a ton of Java fern that came out of the 90, just growing up in here. I got tons of floating plants. If you're curious what fish are in here right now, I've got some Kalitawa breeders. I got some Kalitawa juvies. I've got white cloud mountain minnows. I've got luminatus. I've got some platinum rice fish in here that look beautiful in the sun. I've got some Odessa barbs from my friend Joe. They're cruising around in here, chubby little rascals. I've got some Denison barbs. I don't think there's been too many documented cases of anyone breeding those in captivity without hormones, but figured it can't hurt to try. I've got a couple mops floating, and I got one mop that sits on the bottom. And there's always a bunch of eggs on here. So let's take a look-see. I'll come out here and I'll pick these eggs, and I just put them in a little hatching tote that says random pond eggs. And I've been hatching them out and putting them in a 10-gallon. All right, I'm gonna try a different feature for the audio in this video. I'm turning on noise cancellation so you don't hear all these air pumps. 3, 2, 1. Now it's on. Let me know if you guys prefer this. I'm thinking it would actually be a little nicer not to hear all these air pumps, and that way I can keep the air pumps going. Because the fish get kind of wigged out when I turn them off, and they just act different, you know? These are the random pond eggs. I can tell some of them are going to be luminatus because they're so red already. The rest of them kind of honestly look like rainbows. Maybe they're Kalitawas. So yeah, those are just literally the pond eggs. So I met a new friend named Martine. We did a fish trade, and he gave me 7 beautiful Herbert X. Arati breeders. Look at how yellow this guy is. Look at that fish. I cannot wait to get these out to you guys. These won't be part of the sale because I don't have any juveniles available yet. And Martine, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man. I love these guys. One of the most generous people I've ever met, honestly. Let's check this mop. Well, I don't know if you guys can see this because they're so small and so clear, but there is a ton of eggs in here. Oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles. Oh yeah, you can see, maybe if I go like this, you see all the eggs? I finally got off my lazy butt and put these 2 tanks in service, so I'm just gonna chuck this guy in there. Rah! And we'll turn the flow down in a little bit, but we should hopefully start seeing babies within a day or so. Another fish Martine gave me are these beautiful Goldie Eye Decai. I know a lot of people have been asking where they can source these from. They're very rare, very hard to find. I want to be someone that maintains this line. I think these guys are going to get absolutely massive. I put them with my leopard frog Plecos. See, they don't have a whole lot of color yet. They may not look like much right now, but they're still small. Just wait till they get a little bit bigger. You are going to be a handsome boy when you grow up. Martine also gave me a whole group of rainbow shiners. Whoa, look at that one male. Look how red he is. Holy cannoli. Man, that looks fake. I promise you I don't know how to edit colors on videos, so he's real, man. Look at that guy. He's like on fire. He's on fire! I hear they can be a little difficult to breed. I hear that they could be seasonal spawners, maybe in the spring. I'm gonna do my best to try to get them to breed. I wanna apply some effort and see if I can catch a bunch of eggs. I believe these were collected from a certain stream in Georgia. I'll have to ask Martine exactly where. I was at his fish room and I was like, man, I love those fish. And 2 seconds later, he had a net in the tank and he just gave them to me. So just a sweet guy, very, very generous guy. If he ever comes to my fish room, he can literally have anything he wants in here. Absolutely gorgeous. Gosh, I can't stop looking at these guys. They look fake. And they get even brighter when they breed. This is nothing compared to how I've seen them look. I also bought a group of 6 koi angelfish from angelsplus.com. Had a really good experience with that website. I was really impressed with the stock he sent me. So these are grade AA koi veil-tail angelfish. And I got them as future breeders. I've been looking for a good strain of koi angelfish for a while now. I wanted full coverage, and these guys do not disappoint. Absolutely stunning color, literally all orange and black. So if you're gonna breed angelfish, you really should start with a group of 6, at least 6 minimum, but ideally even more than that, maybe even 8. Put them in a big tank, let them pair off naturally when they get sexually mature, and then you've got your pairs. I've never really had a veil-tail angelfish, but these guys were just irresistible. I had to get some. I've got them in a 20 high by themselves right now. They've been growing really well, extremely healthy. The shipping was great. I mean, I had a great experience at angelsplus.com. They hooked it up. Would definitely recommend it. They were not cheap, but you get what you pay for sometimes. I recently saw a video from Fritz Aquatics about Altum angelfish. Shoreline Aquatics, I think his name's Thomas over at Shoreline Aquatics. I was hooked when I saw that video. I've always wanted the challenge of keeping Altum angelfish. They get absolutely massive, so I'm gonna definitely have to put them in a huge tank. Ideally, I'd like to breed them someday. Pretty much the closest thing you're gonna get to a wild angelfish. I mean, the parents were wild caught. These are the first generation living in an aquarium for their whole life. Thomas does a phenomenal job. I've been watching a lot of his videos. He's a wealth of knowledge. Seems like a really cool dude. Again, these were not cheap, but I knew that the quality would be good, and I was not disappointed when I received them. So I just make sure they get at least a 50% water change every week. I've been feeding them a lot of bug bites and flake food. I can't wait to see their colors darken on the tops of their bodies, and when they get those little spots on the top of their head. Yeah, this was an expensive purchase, but totally worth it. I'd love to put them in a planted tank. But these guys will get absolutely massive with the right care and the right water changes. You may have seen these in a previous video. My friend Sean sent me some gorgeous Melitania suci. These were originally from Marcel. If you're a rainbow fish guy, I'm sure you know who Marcel is. I've been breeding these guys like crazy. I have a ton of fry. I don't have any for sale yet because the fry are like tiny little sticks still. Very, very similar to the Moisey in a lot of ways. I have to say, Sean, I'm sorry, but Moisey are still my favorite. These guys are definitely up there though. They're gorgeous. They're not really turning on right now for us. Just a beautiful orange-red coloration. They've got some purple tones. I have not seen them flash yet, actually. I've been way too busy lately and I haven't actually just sat down and watched them. So still holding out to see them flash. Of course, I'm gonna put them in a big tank once I'm done breeding them. But definitely a gorgeous fish. Another pretty rare one you don't see very often. All right, let me show you some fish that actually will be on sale for our 25% off sale. So we still have a decent amount of leucostris. These are the turquoise rainbows. We've got some pretty chunky ones in here actually. Already starting to show some really nice coloration. These are really nice because you can see they've got like this little yellow line underneath their lateral band. Ooh, yeah, they're beautiful. I love these guys. So I'll definitely have a few of these for sale if you're interested. Still got plenty of Bosemani. I don't have a whole lot in this tank, but I've got more in another tank I can show you. One of my favorites. I think I will list a few Kalitawa. I don't have a ton of males, to be honest with you, so I'll do my best to include males. Just let me know what you're looking for, but I have a lot of females, so if you're trying to breed them, that's a good thing. These guys are beautiful. So yeah, I don't have a ton of Kalitawa, but I'll put a few up for sale. If you've been looking for these, I've kind of had them out of stock for a while because I'm going to be raising some future breeders in this tank, so I don't want to sell all of them. I got some yo-yo loaches down here doing great. Love these guys. So much fun to watch. I still got a bunch of Chilothrina alleni if you're interested in these. These guys are super active and super colorful. This little guy's showing off right now. Now, unfortunately, I did promise the rest of my Blythe River juveniles to another person, so they'll probably be out of stock, but you never know. I might sell a few more of these. Still have some Melitania parva for sale. These guys are getting pretty chunky, actually. In the morning, they get super orange, and then during the day, they kind of shut down a little bit, but you want to turn your lights off for a few hours and then turn them on right after dinner. They'll light up for you again a lot of times. Beautiful fish. So I got a bunch of those. These are originally from Gary Lang. My Pseudomagilla furcata have been prolific. I mean, probably because I have such a big breeding group in here, but they're giving me tons of eggs every day. I have a bunch of these for sale. I'm going to be putting them on the website. I'll send a good ratio of males and females so you can breed them too. Definitely a fish you have to keep breeding if you want to keep them, because they don't live more than 2 to 3 years usually. Maybe some people have kept them longer than that, but that's kind of what I've heard. The raccoon tetras are definitely getting bigger and bigger. So I have a bunch of these for sale, 25% off. They are a little more expensive, so if you're looking at getting these, this is a good time to jump on them. Some of the males are really starting to get their finnage and their colors. Here's my breeding group of raccoon tetras. Boy, that one female needs to lay some eggs like yesterday. Look how fat she is. But the males are beautiful, and when they spar, they turn like this beautiful gold color. I still have a decent amount of Chindongo seleuci. These are an Mbuna African cichlid. They like super hard water. So when they're juveniles, they all start out yellow, and then the females stay yellow, and the males turn a nice dark blue. I've got a big tank upstairs full of these guys, and I absolutely adore them. I've got a bunch of Melitania myrici that are getting pretty chunky. They're still a little bit on the smaller side, but small rainbows just ship better. Is that a CPD in there? Yeah. Guess the CPD somehow found its way in here. I also have a ton of Chilothrina fasciata Clearwater Creek. These guys are really cool. See that one down there has got some decent color. Look at that guy. The long fin snow white Plecos have bred, and I've got a 10-gallon with some babies in them. Let me show you that now. They're super cute. Most of them are underneath this leaf, actually. At least 15 or 20. And I've got some Picta babies swimming around up top. I don't know if you can see those guys. I lost all of my females. I've got one male left. I'm not sure what was going on with that. I don't know if like the males are just super aggressive. I have a ton of these Gecka Medakas. Most of them are too small to sell, but I do have a few that are sellable. These are really beautiful. I kept them in a pond last summer, and then I actually have them at my mother-in-law's house this summer. She's been enjoying them, and she's bred probably over 40 or 50 of them. They come in like a really sparkly blue and then a nice vibrant orange. Let's see if I can find an orange one for you guys. That one's gonna be more orange, yeah. But in the sun, they get really orange. My friend Christian out in Hawaii sent me these. They're imported from Japan, and really appreciate it. They really got me into rice fish, and I really like them. I got a small group of Praecox rainbows from a local fish store, and they just weren't the healthiest, but I did manage to get a few eggs out of them before most of them passed away. These guys were grown in my water, and they seem to be doing great. They're still juvies, just starting to get their color. Kind of a long-term project. I want to get Praecox rainbows going, but it's going to take a couple generations before I get real healthy stock. These guys are healthy. These will be my breeders. And then I've got a bunch of L181 Plecos. It wasn't the biggest spawn. That's okay. They'll just grow faster that way. They won't be overcrowded in this 10-gallon, at least for now. And then I'll have to move all these fish to a bigger tank relatively soon here. They're not really showing the best coloration right now, but when they get older, they're going to be beautiful. I've been getting my pearl gouramis nice and fat and sassy, and I think it's almost time to breed them again. I've had a lot of people asking about these guys. That's my male. It's one of my females, probably my nicest female. So how I breed these is I just put them in a 10-gallon with very low flow, almost no flow at all. And just put a single pair in there, feed them brine shrimp every day, feed them bloodworms, just really power feed them for a couple weeks, and put a lot of plants in there. And what they'll do is they'll build a bubble nest, and the male will wrap around the female. She'll release the eggs, he'll fertilize them, and they all float up into the bubble nest. From that point, I just take a scoop, I scoop the eggs out and throw them in another tank, because the parents always seem to eat the eggs, in my experience. But I actually have a little YouTube short of that happening, and it was really cool to watch. Monstera just gave us another leaf yesterday. This just opened up, so that's looking pretty sweet. It definitely hides all my junk back here, so I'm happy about that. I'm just growing it in soil from my backyard. And obviously I must be pretty lucky because my soil seems to be growing stuff very well. So I'm excited for next growing season with our garden. I think we're gonna grow a lot more veggies. If you didn't catch my last video, it was all about building this tank and then setting it up with an automatic water change system. The newest addition is a bunch of house plants just growing out the top of it. Some of these were given to me by Martine again. Thank you, Martine, so much. Some I had laying around. And I just put them in here, so they're just starting to take off. This Monstera is gonna be sweet. I can't wait to grow this out of here. Really, really neat. So everything's doing pretty well so far. Oh, and I should say, plants are definitely growing. See this Anubias? If you just caught that video, there's at least 3 new leaves on this Anubias. These crypts are getting some really nice new leaves in here. I even think the Java Fern's growing. That looks like a new leaf to me right there. So I'm very hopeful that this hard water is going to work out in the long run. I did also add a bunch of new fish in here just to test everything. I've got some blueberry tetras, some CPDs. I put some raccoon tetras in here, some Medaka rice fish, some prey cocks. I put some Blairi rainbows in here. Everyone seems really happy, actually. There's the Blairi. They're not really coloring up yet, but I just moved them. Oh yeah, I've got some Fricata in here. We're definitely getting some growth. See the Anubias. At least 3 new leaves. I'll probably cut some of those bigger, older leaves. I find myself sitting on my chair and looking at this quite a bit, and that's kind of the goal. I want to just sit and enjoy my fish. I still have a ton of Gossii Corys. The nice thing about breeding Corys is they look good from day one. They're always really cute. The parents are super chubby. They turn into little like beluga whales. The parents are just chilling right now, but they're really, really chunky. So I'm giving the parents a break and just letting them hang out in this 40-gallon. There's only 5 of them in there, so they've got plenty of room with these turquoise rainbows. They seem to be doing really well in here. The gold laser Corys have spawned twice now. I didn't catch either spawn till later in the day, so I think a lot of the eggs actually got eaten. But they've been really liking all the thunderstorms we've been having. I've been giving them lots of bloodworms and lots of cold water changes. That's all it really took, just good feeding and cold water changes. Plus, I got a little circulation pump in this 10-gallon that's really moving the water quite a bit. I think they like the flow. It's not going on constantly. It's only on when the lights are on. I find eggs on this leaf all the time, these leaves, and then they lay them on the glass too. I'll show you the babies. The babies are really hard to see. They don't look like much right now. 2 different batches, so you're gonna see different sizes in here. So far the babies have been doing really well. And I have a bunch of Corys down at the bottom of the fry system. A lot more Gossii. I've got some Julies, some Venezuelans. I got like 3 different varieties of Corys in here. For whatever reason, when they get to a certain size in the tray, if I throw them down on the sand, they just grow really fast. So eventually I just have to catch them all out and put them in their respective tanks. But it's like a Cory party down here. They get lots of food every day. They're very happy on this sand. The spotted hillstreams that I got from Marcel bred, and I saw at least 10 babies in here, probably more. I've just been feeding them a ton and just doing water changes every night. You see a bunch of babies like swimming around in here. So there's one back there on the rocks. Not so much babies anymore. They're getting pretty big. The more you look in here, the more baby hillstreams you see, actually. I'm not really even sure if I want to sell these guys. I just really enjoy them. So if I ever end up with too many, I'll sell them. But the goal is just to enjoy them at this point. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in any homegrown fish that are disease-free, bred right in this room, 25% off everything on the website for 2 weeks starting today. The discount will automatically apply to your entire order. I hope you enjoyed this little update video. And if you did, it really helps if you hit the like button to just kind of show this video to more people. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great week. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.